Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Hey, everyone.
Today, we're diving into the world of new TVs because, let's face it, figuring out which one to buy can feel, well, like decoding alien technology sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. And since everyone's been talking about it, we'll also be throwing in our 2 cents on the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer.
Yeah, that too.
It's true, though, the sheer number of TV options out there is enough to make your head spin.
Totally.
So our goal today is to take the key information from our sources and just, break it down for you.
Right.
So you can walk away feeling informed, not overwhelmed.
Exactly. We've got real questions from people just like you who are trying to make smart choices, and we're here to help make sense of it all.
Okay.
So, let's kick things off with Luna Queen. She's looking to upgrade her, 4-year-old LG CX?
Yeah, that's the one. Luna had an interesting experience with her previous OLED, like reboot loops and beeping issues.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which has understandably made her a bit wary of, going OLED again.
Makes sense.
She's currently looking at the 48-inch LG B4 OLED versus the larger 55-inch TCL QM7 Mini LD.
Ah, okay. So, right off the bat, Luna's facing that classic dilemma. Do you prioritize the incredible picture quality, especially those perfect black levels you get with OLED? Or do you go for a bigger screen with a different display technology?
That's the core trade-off, isn't it? Well, the TCL QM7 won't deliver those same, inky blacks.
Right.
It really shines when it comes to brightness, both in regular SDR viewing and especially with HDR content.
Okay, yeah, HDR brightness is a big one.
For someone watching in a brighter room, maybe, that extra punch of brightness can make a pretty significant difference.
And brightness is definitely something to consider, yeah, especially if your viewing space isn't like a super dark home theater cave.
Exactly.
Now, our sources also mentioned that the price of the 55-inch LG B4, it's dropped in the past.
Yes, it's reportedly been around the $800 mark before.
Cool.
So if Luna isn't in a huge rush, keeping an eye on price fluctuations might allow her to get that larger OLED at a very attractive price.
Okay. But her hesitation about OLED reliability after her previous issue makes total sense. I mean, nobody wants to buy a new TV and immediately worry about problems.
Absolutely. And look, electronics can fail. That's just a reality sometimes.
Sure.
However, it's worth noting that newer LG OLEDs, particularly the higher-end models like the C series or G series, they're generally considered quite reliable these days.
Okay.
While usage can play a role, a new LG OLED shouldn't be automatically seen as a risky purchase.
Right.
If that OLED picture quality is what she truly values, the B4 is still a strong contender.
Okay, good point. Let's switch gears then and talk about a DIN 911 who's on the hunt for an OLED TV specifically for their PlayStation 5.
Ah, the PS5 pairing.
Yeah, and they're feeling lost in the sea of available models, which I get.
It's a common feeling in the OLED market right now. There are a lot of really great options out there. A DIN 911 specifically asked about the LG C4 and G4, which are LG's 2024 models. Depending on when you're listening to this, you might find some initial discounts popping up on these already.
And the good news for Addy 911 is that both the C4 and the G4 are fantastic choices for a PS5. They're really, built for gaming.
Exactly. Both come equipped with 4 HDMI 2.1 ports. That's key for getting the most out of the PS5.
Yeah, supporting 4K at a smooth 144 hertz VRR.
Variable refresh rate,
Yeah.
They also boast very low input lag, which is crucial for responsive gameplay, especially in fast action titles.
Super important.
And of course, the OLED panels themselves provide those incredibly vibrant colors that just make games look stunning.
Now, our sources suggest that for gaming in maybe smaller spaces, the LG C series is often seen as a bit of a sweet spot.
Yes, fair.
Offering excellent picture and those high-end gaming features at a slightly more accessible price point.
Right. The C4 is available in more compact sizes, like 42 and 48 inches, which can be perfect for a dedicated gaming den or maybe a smaller living room. The G4, on the other hand, it starts at 55 inches and typically carries a higher price tag.
Okay. And there's a potential difference in brightness to be aware of, particularly when you're in the PS5's game optimizer mode.
That's right. So reports indicate that the C4 might have slightly lower peak HDR brightness, specifically in game optimizer compared to the G4.
Okay, it might.
Yeah, our sources haven't done direct side-by-side testing yet, so it's not a definitive measurement or anything. But it does raise a good question for a D911.
Which is?
Would they actually notice this difference in real-world use without having the two TVs right next to each other?
That's a crucial point, isn't it? Unless you're doing that direct A/B comparison, a subtle brightness difference might not even register.
Probably not for most people.
So the recommendation sort of leans towards the C4 if overall picture quality and gaming features at a good price are the priority.
I'd say so, yeah.
And the G4 if having that extra brightness bump for all types of content is worth the higher cost and, well, the larger size.
Precisely. The G4 aims to deliver that extra visual oomph across, all your viewing, not just gaming specifically.
All right, let's tackle a different kind of question from Kathy. This one highlights the desire for maybe simplicity when it comes to tech.
Go.
At 75, she primarily watches movies and Netflix, has a budget under $1,500 for a TV and a soundbar.
Right, the combo deal.
Yeah, and her voting distance suggests a 65-inch screen.
Kathy's situation really underscores how overwhelming the tech specs can be when you just want a great viewing experience without, breaking the bank.
Cool.
Given her budget, getting a large, bright OLED along with a decent soundbar,
Yeah.
that'll likely be a stretch.
Yeah, seems tight. Our sources suggest the 65-inch LG B4 OLED as a possibility, maybe around $1,200.
It's possible, yeah.
But again, with that slight caveat about brightness we mentioned earlier compared to higher-end models.
Exactly. For Kathy, mini LED technology could offer a really compelling alternative. Better bang for her buck, maybe.
So?
Well, these TVs generally provide beautiful picture quality. They often get brighter than similarly priced OLEDs.
Okay.
And they tend to be less expensive overall, which leaves more room in her budget for that soundbar.
Great, what she needs. And there are some specific mini LED models highlighted, like the TCL QM851G.
Yep, the 65-inch QM851G, that's a 2024 model, often found around $900 or so.
Wow, okay.
Then there's the TCL QM7K, a 2025 model apparently, seen on sale for around $1,100. And the Hisense U8N from 2024 is a strong competitor to that TCL QM8 series.
Lots of options there. Interestingly, our sources also point out that the Google TV operating system, the one found on TCL and Hisense TVs, can be quite user-friendly.
Yeah, a lot of people find it has a clear layout, simple remotes, pretty easy setup process.
Which could be a real benefit for Kathy wanting simplicity.
Absolutely. That ease of use is a huge factor for many people. Ultimately, as our sources emphasize, all of these TVs we've mentioned are excellent options in their respective categories.
Good to know.
And for finding a soundbar within Kathy's remaining budget, yeah, resources like the soundbar reviews on digital trends would be a great place to start looking.
Definitely. Okay, complete pivot now. Let's talk about something totally different that's been setting the internet on fire. The Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer.
Yes. GTA 6, the trailer heard round the world.
Pretty much. We know there was another delay announced pushing the release to May of 2026, which feels far away.
It does. But that new trailer, the first one since, December 2023, it generated an insane amount of buzz since it dropped.
The reaction has been massive.
Huge. We're talking millions and millions of views, countless online discussions. People are clearly just incredibly eager for any glimpse of this game.
And we got a little taste of that community reaction in our sources, some funny ones.
Yeah.
One comment that stood out was, as a pure-blood Florida man, this game got me smiling from ear to ear, bro.
Captures the vibe.
It really captures the excitement of seeing that Florida setting or Vice City brought to life like that.
Then you have the other end of the spectrum, with James Moses saying, way too realistic. I had a trauma response because it reminded me of family reunions back in the day.
Oh my gosh, our source host even chimed in, agreeing with that sentiment based on personal experience with Florida.
I love Florida commentary.
So while we didn't get any, deep dives into gameplay mechanics,
Yeah, no, really.
the trailer definitely gave us a much clearer picture of the game's visual style and overall vibe.
For sure. Visually, it looks like a true next-gen experience.
Yeah.
A significant jump in fidelity compared to GTA 5.
Yeah, you can see it.
The level of environmental detail is reportedly incredible, making the world feel incredibly immersive.
And the lighting. People are talking about the lighting.
Yeah, the lighting in particular seems to be a real standout, really capturing that specific warm, humid, sunshine state feeling of Florida.
It's even been compared to the lighting style in that upcoming game, South of Midnight.
Interesting comparison. The overall tone seems to be leaning towards something a bit more, maybe, grounded and gritty.
Yeah, less cartoony, maybe.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Drawing comparisons to the films of Michael Mann, even evoking the atmosphere of GTA, Vice City, which is generating a lot of excitement.
Vice City vibes are always good.
It suggests a potentially more mature and less overtly jokey or purely irreverent tone than some might have anticipated.
Okay. Now, naturally, a lot of gamers had questions about the actual gameplay. We saw comments like,
Is it real gameplay?
exactly. Is that actual gameplay footage or just cinematic cutscenes? And when are we going to see some proper gameplay?
Right. Rockstar did clarify that the trailer is a mix of both cinematic sequences and actual gameplay footage.
Okay, so a mix.
All rendered using the game engine on a PS5, apparently. However, because of the cinematic presentation, the camera angles and cuts,
Yeah.
it's really tough to tell the difference between the two sometimes.
So while we got to look at what the game could look like in motion, we still don't really know how it will actually feel to play.
Exactly. Things like driving mechanics, the variety of activities in the open world, the structure of the story missions, still largely under wraps.
Those core gameplay elements remain a significant unknown at this point then.
Very much so.
And the map. The different locations within the game are another big topic of discussion. The trailer and the accompanying blog post highlighted various Florida locales, which led to questions about how those areas will be connected. Like, is it all one big map?
That's the big question, yeah. Will we have one seamless, interconnected open world, which is the traditional GTA formula?
Right.
Or could there might be more distinct, separate mission areas that require loading screens, maybe similar to what we saw in parts of Red Dead Redemption 2?
Okay.
That remains to be seen. Still unknown.
So the takeaway with GTA 6 seems to be the trailer has definitely built a ton of excitement with its visuals, the tone, the character.
Oh, yes, the hype is real.
Yeah. But the significant unknowns surrounding the actual gameplay experience and the structure of the open world mean that this extended wait, it's probably going to feel even longer for a lot of people.
Precisely. It's given us a tantalizing glimpse of what's to come, but the full picture is still very much under construction. Makes that 2026 date feel, pretty far off.
All right, that wraps up this edition of Byte-Sized Tech. We hope this quick dive has helped shed some light on navigating the sometimes confusing world of new TVs.
Hopefully.
And maybe giving you some food for thought regarding the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer reactions and what we actually know so far.
Yeah, and remember, when you're faced with a ton of tech information, try to focus on what truly matters to you, your viewing habits, your budget, what you personally value in a device.
Good advice.
And when it comes to highly anticipated games, well, sometimes the anticipation itself, the speculation, is part of the fun.
Right, true. So, what bits of new tech or game news have you scratching your head or getting hyped? What makes you pull the trigger on a new gadget or eagerly await a game release? We'd love to know.
We'll keep digging into these fascinating intersections of technology and entertainment, bringing you the insights without, hopefully, the information overload.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.